Hi everyone, it's Lee here for the 9/11 Blacklist and Chasing Shadows, episode 54. And in this episode we'll be delving into the mystery of the gold disappearance from the vaults of the World Trade Center on 9/11. In 2011, a coin dealership ran a television ad for a 10th anniversary 9/11 commemorative coin that was allegedly clad in .999 pure silver, actually recovered from vaults beneath the ashes of Ground Zero. That commercial provoked retired New York Police Department Captain Tom DeBriscoe to tell New York's Daily News in late January that it was pure bull. In the aftermath of the devastating attacks on 9/11, DeBriscoe was assigned to the Office of Emergency Management to assist in recovering precious metals buried in a 2-story vault beneath the rubble of World Trade Center, Building 4, and transferred it to another vault in Brooklyn Naval Yard World. He said the operation began on October 16, 2001 and lasted for 2 days. DeBriscoe reminisces about the moment he walked into the vault. He said, "Walking into that vault was like a scene out of the James Bond movie Goldfinger. Endless, neat stacks of gold, silver and platinum bars, $500 million worth." According to the Daily News article, "We never recovered any precious metals," said DeBriscoe, "so it boils my blood that anyone would sell a fake coin claiming to be made with silver recovered from Ground Zero." Now, the Daily News has since contacted the dealer of these coins, who responded by saying that they were in fact authentic. The company said they have a complete chain of custody for the merchandise and claim to have bought these items from a company that purchased them from a bank, storing silver bars, coins, etc. in the vaults under the WTC. The fate of nearly $1 billion worth of gold, silver and other precious metals stored beneath the WTC before 9/11 continues to baffle many. To this day, only $230 million has officially been accounted for. All of that was retrieved from the previously mentioned 2-level, 6,000 square foot vault maintained by the Bank of Nova Scotia. They reportedly lost $200 million in gold as a result of the attacks. However, other estimates suggest that there was an additional $750 million worth of precious metals that may have been stored in other vaults or hurriedly evacuated from the Nova Scotia vault before the skyscrapers came down. According to a November 1st, 2001 article in London's The Times, the COMEX Metals trading division of the New York Mercantile Exchange kept 3,800 gold bars weighing 12 tons and worth more than $100 million in vaults in the building's, apparently Building 5, basement. COMEX also held almost 800,000 ounces of gold there on behalf of others, with a value of about $220 million. It also held more than 102 million ounces of silver, worth an estimated $430 million. The Times piece also reported that some of the recovered gold may have been found outside the vault. The gold which was discovered was being transported through the basement of the building on the morning of September the 11th, reads the article. Recovery workers reached a service tunnel and discovered a 10-wheel truck and a number of cars that had been crushed by the falling steel. Another article appearing in the Daily News on October the 31st, 2001 corroborates this story even. The sources said that the gold was found in a delivery tunnel under World Trade Center 5. If these accounts are true, they strongly conflict with the official story, which alleges that all the recovered metals were found inside the Bank of Nova Scotia vault under World Trade Center 4. This has led some to speculate that insiders with short-term advanced knowledge of the attacks made a frantic effort to transfer the treasures by a truck to a safe, undisclosed location. Was the uncovered 10-wheel truck the last in a fleet of gold-laden rigs with an armoured security escort? Did personnel decide to abandon these vehicles and flee on foot as they heard the structure above them giving way? Answers to these questions may never be fully addressed so long as the federal government refuses to revisit the 9/11 tragedy with an adequate investigation. Meanwhile, some insist the official story is an unabashed lie, that another reason behind the 9/11 attacks was to pull off the biggest gold heist in history. One of the more outrageous claims along this vein comes from former mob boss Tony Gambino, who declared in a radio interview in 2007, "I know for a fact that Bush and other US government leaders had prior knowledge and helped organize 9/11. They did it for many obvious reasons, one being to instigate a war in Iraq, but they also did it to get their hands on the gold that was hidden below the WTC." Gambino claims that his grandfather's construction company built the WTC and installed underground vaults to warehouses vast quantities of gold, where it was later stolen on 9/11. So, ladies and gentlemen, with all the evidence that has been supported, corroborated about the crushed Brinks trucks that were in the basement of WTC4 and even the WTC5 tunnels, the question is, was there any trucks that got away? Was there any trucks that were recorded? Was there any trucks that were filmed and were caught on film leaving a scene? Well, I'm going to play you a clip right now, and I'm going to show you something, but you've got to be very, very vigilant in what you're going to see. I want you to pay close attention to this raw piece of news footage of everybody being evacuated from Lower Manhattan, in this mass exodus from Lower Manhattan. But what I want you to pay close attention to is the left hand side of the screen. You might be surprised what you might see. isn't it entirely possible that there was in that Brinks truck could have been some of the gold that has been mysteriously missing all these years? What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Did you know this piece of footage existed? Did you know that this Brinks truck was leaving the scene in plain sight of millions of people being evacuated from Lower Manhattan on 9/11? Now, I find it absolutely fascinating that the reports corroborated the story of when the towers fell, and they were towers, the towers collapsed in seconds. People were seen leaving hurried, they were escaping pretty much on foot. The trucks were crushed, but were there trucks with those gold bars in them that got away? And did this news crew unwittingly catch it on camera? And how many of you out there actually knew this existed? Do you know what, guys? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear your opinions on this. There's probably a lot more to discuss regarding the disappearance and the missing millions and billions of dollars of gold beneath WTC4 and WTC5. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts, love to hear your opinions on this, and I most probably will be talking to you more about this in other episodes of Chasing Shadows. But get all your opinions down and let's get a dialogue started. Catch you for the next episode from Chasing Shadows very, very soon. Ta-ra for now.